What's up, Springfield Nation? Steve Leslie, YSNLive.com, your home of Springfield Tiger football all season long. And hopefully you're home for a long playoff stretch for the Springfield Tigers and possibly bringing home that state championship, which they desire very, very bad. First of all, proud to be joined by senior Coleson Kertesz. First of all, Coleson, thanks for joining the show.
Thank you so much for having me.
All right, let's jump in. Coleson Kertesz, you're a senior. I talked with Brady a little bit before you. Offensive lineman, defensive end. I love it. Without a good offensive line, it's hard to win football games. But before we get into some football, Coleson, talk about yourself a little bit for Springfield Nation. You can shout out some family members, and we'll go from there.
All right. Well, so I've been pretty much here my whole life. I have an older brother, and he played football all the way up to his junior year. And then beyond throwing, or beyond football, I also throw for Springfield, and then not too much after that.
Well, that's a pretty full plate. Talk about the family a little bit. How important is your family when you're involved in sports like you are? I'm sure that's a big plus to have that support every week of the family members.
Yeah, definitely. My mom, my dad lives down in Columbus, and he comes up every week to watch me play. So every night, and then as many tickets I can get, all my family there. So great support from all of them.
Well, that's awesome to hear. I'm sure they're awful proud of you and what you've accomplished at Springfield in a quick 4 years. Now you're a senior. First question: this senior group. I talked with Brady. I talked with Lucas. We're with Coleson Kertesz, player profile. He's a senior. WRS Insurance Solutions is a sponsor and proud to be a part of Springfield football like all of us at YSN. How close is this senior group? Because as I look at it and as I watch you guys play, a lot of great leadership from this senior group and an awful tight-knit group. Is that fair to say?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely, yeah.
Do you spend a lot of time together on and off the football field? Talk about some of your senior teammates a little bit.
I think a lot of guys that have stuck with football and that we've played with each other. I mean, I think ever since we were like all the way back in elementary school, we've been hanging out after school and all the way to now doing the same thing.
Yeah, is it nice now you're a senior? You're one of those guys. Coach said you're a good leader on this football team. Is it hard to lead a talented group as you guys are? It looks like this team, it looks like you have a lot of younger guys playing, no question, but these younger guys look like they follow the roles of this senior group. And I'm sure you guys, when you were juniors last year, had great leaders in that senior group that took you to a state final. How important was last year to learn how to be a leader from a great group of seniors on last year's team?
I think it was definitely very important for all the seniors to keep us going, especially when we were getting into playoff weeks and all the way to state. And I do think them pushing us helped us tremendously throughout the whole year.
Well, we're with Coleson Kertesz. He's a senior. He plays tackle and defensive end, does a great job offensively and defensively. Senior player profile. We are the home of Springfield football. We'll have every football game on YSNLive.com/Springfield. You talked about tickets. Those are going to be hard to come by in this COVID era, but we will have every game to support Tiger Nation. That has to be nice. I know, obviously, a lot of Springfield community can't get in to watch this football team play. There's no doubt, Coleson, that's a shame. But I know I asked Brady, I'm going to ask you, you end your junior year in the state championship. You're going into your senior year. COVID hits. There looked like, for a time period, that there would not be a football season. How nice has it been for this group of seniors to, number one, get your senior football year, go undefeated, and now you're a senior and get ready for this playoff run? How special is that for you as a senior?
I think really special because, I mean, a lot of the guys, we look back and think about like a lot of different things we've missed out on, but considering like what you said, there was a point where we're all like, I don't think we're going to even be able to have a senior year. And the fact that we're in it and we're this far into it, I think it's very special to all of us.
Yeah, it has to be. And I think the most important thing is that things can change so fast. I think one of the things that I'm impressed with this group is, and I've talked with Coach Guerrero weekly, he seems to think that the COVID has not really had an effect on this football team. Yes, the season has been shortened up, but he doesn't see any change from this group from last year to this year. Well, what's your thoughts on that?
I think all the coaches and all the players, I think we've done a really good job abiding by all the new rules, and I think that even with the new rules, I think we're all still very anxious to continue with our season. So we're doing everything we can to stay on.
What's the biggest difference? Obviously, you guys get a great turnout. Like last year, the state championship, that community run, the crowds. You're on the line of scrimmage. Do you notice that, or are you just playing football?
Mostly just playing football. Yeah.
That's what you're supposed to do, because again, we talked off air with Coleson. Let's be honest; those skill guys, Lucas, running around catching passes, the secondary, Bo, your two good running backs. Without the big boys up front, it's hard to win football games. How, my opinion, this offensive line is one of the best in our area. Maybe the best. How good is this offensive line? Talk about them a little bit.
Well, considering that we got a lot of returning starters, even though we lost some guys last year, a lot of us, I mean, we obviously really know what we're doing up front. And then Brady's been a guy who's been there since sophomore year, so he's a big leader for all of us. And I think overall, I mean, I think we just work together very well, and we're able to communicate very well on the line. And that's another great thing to our success.
Yeah, and I think the key for me as I watch this football team, Springfield Nation and fans, obviously, I've talked about with this. So you guys could score in a blink of an eye. There's no question. But I think the thing that gets me going is you can also – somebody wants to play pass and take Bo away, but you guys could line up and play smash mouth with two pretty good running backs. That has to be something that you're confident when you need it, you're going to be able to get it done.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
And on your end of it, that makes football even more fun when you know it's a run play, because let's be honest, Bo runs around and extends plays for the offensive line. A run play, you just make a hole, knock somebody down, and watch the running back run. That's a great feeling for an offensive lineman.
It is. It definitely is.
Well, we're with Coleson Kertesz. He's a senior, one of those standout offensive linemen, defensive linemen. What's your preference? You like offense better? You like the defense? And this Springfield defense, I'm going to say, doesn't get all the credit that you deserve because of a quality offense. Which one do you like?
I'd say it's close, but definitely offense. I've always loved offense, and I'll learn different schemes and going through and being able to communicate with the rest of your line. It's always been like very interesting to me, and it's something that's like stuck with me for sure.
Well, that's a great answer with Coleson Kertesz. They have a bye, folks, so they'll get the winner of Western Reserve and Columbiana. That will be a Saturday night, so you've had a long week here. We'll talk about that a little bit in a bye, but I think I talked with Brady and Lucas about this. I go back to that state championship game. You got to practice for 5 extra weeks, a lot of extra reps. I think I asked Brady, that game ends. Most teams, you talk or you say that you want to win a state championship. I sense a different thing with this football team. You guys truly, I think, and I want to get your reaction from you when you went home after that state championship game. Was that one of the first things that you thought about, is getting back and trying to get the one that maybe got away?
All the way, especially considering it was a coming from junior year and knowing like I'm a senior next year, and this is probably the most important thing. So we all have to step up and come home next year with a different change. Is
it talked about a lot, or is it something that's just, it's there, what you guys need to do? I wouldn't think it's something that needs to be brought up or talked about with this group.
Yeah, no, I don't think there's no reason. I think we all know that it happened and what happened, and I think we're all working very hard this year to get back there and hopefully come out with the win.
Yeah, and I think we've talked a lot on Wise and on the scoreboard shows this team. There's a lot of talent there. You're led by a great coaching staff. There's no question with your coaching staff. Talk about your coaches a little bit. I know Coach Guerrero thinks very highly of this senior group as leaders, as community guys, as football players. How important is it to have such a quality staff that you guys have?
Very important. I know that especially at the start and in the summer, and as we are going through doubles, and when we still weren't completely sure what was happening with our season, the coaches just kept getting on us saying, "Let's go." There's no reason to be worried about it. Just get done what we can get done, and every day is just another day.
Well, and you guys are doing a good job of it. 6-0 regular season. Your thoughts on the regular season? Is there something that Coleson wants to see this football team get better at?
I think there definitely are a little. I think a lot of it is individual. I think everybody on our team has little things that they need to improve on. But I think overall, I think right now we're going at a really good pace.
That's a good answer, and for you guys are going at a good pace. That makes me feel good because we love being a part of watching what you guys do. It's a fun football team to cover, to watch play. This playoff run, I think I ask you as a senior, you got a chance to play a lot more home games. That has to be a great feeling for you as a senior to play playoff football on your home field.
Absolutely. Last year, a lot of the playoff games were away, and it was a big change for us, definitely, because not only was it the farthest we ever went, it was a lot longer, and it all that did take a toll. But yeah, being at home will be very nice.
Well, you need to soak up every second that you can of this playoff run, and I think it's going to be a long one. But what do you think that the key thing, if there was one thing that I wanted to ask you, the biggest need of improvement to get that state championship, what are you thinking? Is it a group thing? Is it some film work? Is it things that off the field? What's important to this football team?
I definitely think it would be a big thing with the group, knowing that even though, especially this week, not having a game,
Sure.
knowing to push ourselves mentally and physically, stay on the field, get what we need to get done so we can continue improving.
Well, that's a great answer, and I'll jump right off of that with you. You've had a bye week. Those don't come too often. How has it been? You're not playing. Western Reserve plays Columbiana in today's world. You guys are a tight-knit group. You'd go watch that game on Saturday night. You can't do that. I mean, shout out to YSN. We'll have it on stream, so I'm sure you will be watching it as a group somewhere. How's the bye week been for you guys? Brady and Lucas both said it's been pretty good because it's helped heal not major injuries, but some bruises. Talk about that.
Definitely. I think for sure that it's allowing a lot of guys to help recover, even with little minimal things. But beyond that, I think even knowing we don't have a game, I think everybody else is still working very hard throughout this week. So next week we can have a successful game.
Yeah, next week they will have a successful one. They will be at home for the winner of Western Reserve in Columbiana, October 17th, Saturday night at 7 o'clock, and we'll have it for you. But first of all, it's been a pleasure to interview you, all of you guys, Brady and Lucas, and I've said this to everyone. I'm going to say it to you. Quality young man, no doubt in my mind, represent a community that loves their football. But furthermore, you're one of those guys that's a leader, I'm sure, in the classroom and on the football field for a lot of younger Springfield Nation that looks up to you guys an awful lot. So before we do rapid fire, DJ, myself, and all of us at YSN, thank you for, number one, who you guys are. You represent your schools and your communities very well, and we appreciate you taking the time to get your name out there and talk a little bit about yourself. So rapid fire, first question for you. I started it out with those two guys. I told you off air, Coach Guerrero's a cousin of mine. So we got two answers. I'm going to go for the third. One word to describe Coach Guerrero.
One word. I'd have to say challenging.
Okay. So we've had Lucas said interesting. Brady said goofball. And you say challenging. Now, when you take those three together, that's a sign of a pretty good football coach. Is that safe to say that can have major roles with you guys? Obviously, it's not always all football with you. He can have some fun with you. He can be hard on you. Your staff pushes you. That's a great answer, Coleson. It really is. All right. Favorite color Gatorade?
I'd have to go with, I think it's blue. I don't I think it's just called a Cool Blue, I think.
Cool Blue. All right. You guys are 3-0 on that. So this is a tight knit group, Springfield Nation. All right. I'm curious here. Lineman, and I didn't ask Brady this, so I asked Lucas, your hype music to get you ready to play on game night when you're out warming up.
Well, for me,
yeah,
like my own playlist. So I go with like older rock. So
okay,
rock, yeah.
Eddie Van Halen passed away. That's a tough one on my era of it. So do you guys listen to music as a group?
Oh yeah, yeah.
So, but your own preference, that's a good one. Favorite class that you've had at Springfield or class that you have now?
I'd probably have to go with. I'd say probably art. I'm a big drawer. I like drawing.
Dude, that's not a bad thing to know how to do. That's a good answer. Okay, favorite teacher?
Oh, geez.
I'm putting you on the spot here. A lot of good teachers, I'm sure, at Springfield. If there's one you want to shout out, though, go ahead.
I'd say probably Coach Slopek, our English teacher.
I like it.
Yeah.
Guerrero got two. He's a football coach. Go, Coach Slopek. Hats off to you for what you do in the classroom. Favorite college football team?
Ohio State.
Love it. I think I told Brady this. Be a good senior year for you, wouldn't it? Win a state championship at Springfield and the Buckeyes win a national championship. That couldn't be a bad football season.
That would not.
Yeah. I think Ohio State's one of those teams that's going to come with a little bit of a mission. I really do. Similar to what you guys went through. A lot of those guys wanted football to be played, and I'm just glad they're doing that. Favorite pro team?
I'd probably go with the Steelers.
Man, that's all three of you.
Yeah.
You guys are beating. I'm a Browns fan. You've beaten us 100 years. No, Steelers, that's a good organization and a good football team again this year. Your plans after you get out of Springfield. Does Coleson Kertesz, what does he want to do? Is there any thoughts to that yet? Do you want to play sports? You throw track and field? Do you want to continue to be in the sports?
Yeah, so I want to go to college, and I'm looking maybe to go in some sort of business administration, and then I'd like to extend my athletic career through throwing.
Awesome, and that's a good thing to do, obviously, and you do it very well. I know the name from track and field also. Continue to chase your dreams, my man, for sure. We're with Coleson Kertesz, WRS Insurance Solutions player profile. We are the home of Springfield football all season long on YSN. We'll have their entire playoff run all season long, and we want to go hoist that trophy for a championship season for the Tigers, no doubt. And the thing I'll end it up with, I probably know the answer. These other guys told me, this senior group, how do you want this season to end?
Definitely with a win at the state championship game.
And I think I said it to one of those guys. A lot of teams, you go through a high school football season and you say that throughout the year. You believe it, but in the back of your mind, we can't. This football team knows that they can do that. That's why I love when you guys say that, because let's be honest, you take it 1 week at a time. You play like you're capable of, and I want to watch this great group of seniors at Springfield win a state championship, yourself included. So, again, best of luck to you. The football team, your coaches, you represent Springfield so very well. And from all of us at YSN, go win a state championship and have yourself a senior year to remember. But thanks for joining us.
Thank you so much for having me.
All right. Have a good night, and let's get ready for next week.
Yes, sir.
All right.